Congresswoman, thank you so much for being here tonight. I want to get your take right off the bat. What do you make of Congress having to intervene at the behest of President Biden on this deal? And what do you make of the outcome? No paid sick leave for these workers.
Well, look, Congress has not had to intervene in 3 decades on something like this. And it's unfortunate that it has come to the point where Congress did have to intervene. And quite frankly, President Biden, I believe, didn't do his job. He didn't show any leadership in trying to negotiate the deal, or help negotiate the deal, rather. And he basically put it on Congress's lap. And we had really no choice here but to intervene because we were not going to allow a real disastrous strike here that could have really hurt our economy. It's costing $2 billion a day. Would have certainly further increased the strain and costs on American families as it comes to food and heat and energy costs. Everything from treating our water with chemicals that travels by rail, and obviously energy as well. And so it would have been destructive, and I think that the president should have done more. And quite frankly, I think if President Trump was in office, he would have been able to make the deal, the art of the deal. Unfortunately, this president wasn't as strong, and we would have liked to see sick days also go to the workers, but we were not going to just add stuff that wasn't already agreed to. What we did was just pass what was already agreed to and by both parties.
You are on the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill signed last November. I haven't really seen many projects. I think a lot of people around the nation are trying to figure out where this money has gone. Where are the projects? So what's going on? Things seem to be taking a little bit longer than people really want.
Well, look, it's over the course of the next decade that these projects are going to be happening. Already, my district is seeing money coming in and projects being worked on. We're seeing overpasses being rehabilitated in Staten Island Expressway and in the Brooklyn Gowanus. Also, maintenance of our local bridges. A lot of money has already gone out for highways and roads. But also, we have had projects announced. I represent Coast Guard Sector Station, New York, and they have had a project announced for housing in the local port there and their pier. In addition to that, a dredging project that will happen next year in our local harbor in Great Kills. So the money is going out, but it did take the administration a while to appoint Mr. Landrieu, who's going to be overseeing the coordination of it. Just yesterday, I met with my U.S. Senator, Kirsten Gillibrand, to push for the completion of the HOV lane on Staten Island. So yes, it's going to take time, but the money little by little is starting to trickle out there. I do believe we need oversight for sure. And I actually have legislation to always ensure we know where every federal dollar is going once it gets to the city and state. But there seems to be some talk here, issues when it comes to things like, I don't know, permitting. The National Environmental Policy Act has made this burdensome to issue permits. You also have an issue here where the bill said that, most of these products should be American made, and that is also slowing down some of these projects. I guess these are things that I figure should have and could have been thought about before this legislation was passed. And can anything be changed on that front, on the environmental permitting burdening, or on perhaps products that we want to be made in the U.S., but if it's slowing things down, maybe bring that back a little bit? Yeah, look, on the permitting, Republicans did offer an amendment that would ease some of the permitting, because that is the truth. That is a major cause for delay, and these projects become costlier as they get delayed. And so hopefully with a Republican House next year, we'll be able to make some adjustments to this legislation. With the Buy American clause, I think it is very important that we do what we can to buy American, whether it's the raw materials or make sure the workers are American workers. But the issue there, again, becomes it's got to be on a case-by-case basis. If there's difficulty with a particular material, then we could look at perhaps granting a waiver. Chinese steel, not going to happen. We had this problem on the Staten Island Verrazano Bridge, and we fought it. We were able to get American steel. Of course, and that's for safety standards, right? We don't want superior. We don't want materials that are not up to par and are not safe being used on these projects, and that's our concern with importing things like steel from China. So look, there certainly could be tweaks made for this as we go along, you know, and I think that's what you'll be seeing coming out of the Transportation Infrastructure Committee next year.
Let's hope that the nation starts seeing more of these projects. Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Two